easy to express in life, but how can that love be communicated from heaven? Janet Hastings looked for an enlightening miracle as a sign from her father, and she found it. Growing up in the Hastings family, all of the children vied for their father's attention. And though Pat Hastings never picked favorites, his daughter Janet seemed to need him more than the rest.
I was run over by a truck when I was 4. I had kidney failure when I was 5. So when I was little, I was in and out of the hospital a lot.
Hey, sweetie, how are you?
My father would come in and just spend hours with me.
How was your day?
Good.
Yeah.
It was just the two of us, which, you know, one of 6 kids, it's kind of hard to get time alone with your father.
All right, if I move there, you're gonna jump me, but I guess I could move here. Your turn.
So when my father walked in the door, it was, you know, like God.
Oh, Patrick!
Oh my gosh. Have you ever seen one of these before?
And the bond they'd formed continued long after Janet had recovered.
Me and my father were different from the rest of the family.
They both had the personality of being outgoing and knew what they wanted, and so they were very similar in that respect.
My father was everything that was good. He was an honorable man, he was a sincere man, he was funny. He had the highest morals and values of anyone that I've ever met. He just believed in good. And if you lived your life good, life would be good too.
Yes!
As the years passed, Pat Hastings handed down more than just strong values to his daughter. He also instilled in her a love of sports.
Sports was a big part of our lives. My father loved sports. So my father would teach the other boys and then teach me. My sister was a little bit prissier. She was the girly girl. I was the tomboy.
As she grew into adulthood, Janet and her father continued to share a warm and loving relationship. And while she didn't follow in his footsteps as an electrical engineer, Janet turned their mutual love of sports into a career of her own.
Come again. I opened a sports store.
Hey, how did Lauren do yesterday?
It was 1992, and Pat Hastings was now in his early 60s.
He would come in and just spend hours with me. Another game. She's a game on Saturday, if you want to come.
Oh, you bet. I won't miss that one.
That's when we started to enjoy each other. We had a lot of common interest, and it was more of an adult relationship, I guess, at that point.
I got you some donuts.
He guided me. He was definitely my mentor. He was who I looked up to.
You enjoy counting that money, don't you?
He became my best friend. He became who I called when there was a problem. It was, I have to go talk to my dad.
Unfortunately, in April of 1998, Pat Hastings complained of shortness of breath and was admitted to the hospital.
The diagnosis was mesothelioma, which is cancer of the lining of the lung.
There was no cure, and Janet dedicated herself to helping her father face the inevitable.
You have enough people praying for you, Dad. Maybe it's time for you to start praying, though. My father couldn't really talk to anyone about death because they became emotional, whereas we would joke about it.
And St. Peter's probably going to meet me at the gate.
I thought it was wonderful that they could talk to each other like that. It wasn't maudlin or teary. There was a lot of laughter, even.
Dad, we're going to go see Grandma in the nursing home. We'll be back.
Can you stay a minute? I want to talk to you.
Okay. I'm going to stay with Daddy. Okay, Grandma, I said hi. All right. Bye-bye.
See you later.
It was during one of these visits that Pat made a pact with his daughter.
What's up? And he said, I was thinking, when I get to heaven, I'll have an in with God. I'll be able to do more up in heaven than I can down here. I said, I know. I said, do you want my list? I'll tell you, I'll give you my list of what I want when you get there.
I know exactly what you want, and I'll take care of it.
How will I know it's from you? And he said, well, how did dead people talk to people? I said, well, from what I understand, they can turn lights on and off.
Hey, good idea. That's how I'll send you a signal.
I said, well, all right, but how am I going to know it's you? And he said, don't worry, you'll know it's me.
You'll know.
I said, okay. So that was 3 months before he died, and every time I saw him, he's like, no, don't forget about the lights. I'm like, don't you forget about the lights.
November 4th, 1998.
About 4:30 in the morning, I got a phone call. My mother said, I think you better come. So I knew that was it. Hi, Dad. I was totally at peace with my father going. We're all here, Dad. We're here. I wanted him to be free to go and go with joy. We love you. It's okay, you can go.
I love you, Pat.
It's okay. Love you. Go to the light, Dad.
It's okay.
And when you get there, don't forget to blink the lights. Even on his deathbed, it was, Dad, don't forget about the lights. And I remember looking around and going, what a way to die. To have your children and your wife at your bed saying, we love you, go to God. And he did. And it's pretty awesome.
The next day, as his family made arrangements for Pat's funeral, Janet's Aunt Terry noticed something strange.
I was facing the dining room, and the chandelier started blinking.
Oh, we'd like to look at them tonight.
Oh, Joan, what's happening with your lights? Oh, it stopped now, but your chandelier was blinking off and on. I thought you might have a short or something.
You're kidding. Mom, did you tell her? Did my mother tell you?
No, I didn't say a word.
My mother told you. You're just saying that. My mother told you, didn't she? She told you. You're just pulling my leg, right? She's like, John, I don't know what you're talking about. The dining room lights are blinking. My father told me that when he died and got to heaven, he would let me know by blinking the lights. I have goosebumps. Are you sure?
I believed it. I had no doubt that that Pat made the lights blink because, well, first of all, he was always involved with electricity.
It's Daddy. It's gotta be Daddy.
Well,
Doesn't count, Dad. I didn't see it. Better do it again.
I was skeptical, but then I thought to myself, you know, that's just something he would do.
Later that same day, Janet and her aunt visited a local floral shop.
Thank you very much.
and his lights flickered.
Yeah, no problem. I don't know.
Okay. Thank you very much. When we left the florist, I said, Janet, did you see it?
What?
The lights.
What lights?
The lights in the florist shop. You didn't see them blinking off and on?
I wasn't aware of the whole thing. I was just in shock. I'm like, well, it doesn't count because I didn't see it.
But the next day, Janet arrived home to receive the confirmation she'd been waiting for.
I turned the hall, and the light went on in the ceiling. And I just looked at this light that had never worked before. Hi, Dad. Joe. I know it. It was pure joy. It was just, this is you. I mean, it might as well have been my father there in the light because it was so clear to me that it was him. It was just, I froze. I just froze like, it's you. You're here. And then it went off. And I started flipping the switch and it wouldn't work. It had been 5 or 6 years since that light had been put in and it never worked.
The next morning, Janet called electrician David Hoy.
No, there's no way this could have worked. It's not connected.
You mean there's no power?
There's probably power there, but there's no way to get it to the light if it's not hooked to the terminals.
The light went on.
I don't think so. I kind of thought she was joking at first, but she kept insisting, and I looked at it myself, and there's no way that it could have worked. I've been in business for 22 years, and to this day, I can't figure it out.
The miracle is that there's life after death, and he let me know, and he communicated it with me.
Is it possible that two people can have a bond of love woven so tightly over the years that it can create a bridge that spans the gap between heaven and earth and allows them to communicate? Janet Hastings believes so.
Everyone can come up with something. As long as you create it before they die, you can say, you know, come back and butterflies will land on my shoulder and I'll know it's you. It can be anything, as long as you create it and believe it. Hi, Dad. He's here beyond a shadow of a doubt.